Power outages, canceled flights after Texas tornado outbreak. Thousands of residents were without power and hundreds of flights canceled on Wednesday as authorities surveyed damage a day after up to a dozen tornadoes struck the densely populated Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. Hundreds of homes and businesses sustained significant damage in the outbreak that brought hail, high winds, and rain as it skipped through the area, tossing tractor trailers, trucks into the air and injuring at least 17 people. Many of the 6.3 million area residents were forced to scramble for safety as the storm bore down during the early afternoon, when schools and workplaces were open in the fourth most populous U.S. metropolitan area. The early warning for the storm, the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport was tracking the storm for more than an hour before it reached there, enabled people to get to safety, officials said. About 22,000 homes and businesses remained without power on Wednesday morning from Texas to Louisiana, Mississippi, and Oklahoma. Some 420 American Airlines and American Eagle flights in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport have been canceled Wednesday, said Tim Smith, a company spokesman. There were 66 American planes and 26 American Eagle planes out of service, Smith said. About 1,400 people slept in airport terminals Tuesday night after the storm, and an as yet undetermined number of passengers stranded by canceled flights were directed to area hotels, airport spokeswoman David McGanna said. The fortunate thing about it is there was some injuries but no deaths we are aware of at this point. It is not uncommon for the Dallas-Fort Worth area to be struck by tornadoes, but to have storms that do this kind of damage has probably happened 5 or 6 times since the 1950s. As of Tuesday night, 10 people have been reported injured in the Lancaster area, 2 severely and 7 in Arlington, 1 critically, police said. One tornado lifted trucks like toys in the Flying J Truck Plaza in Dallas, and truck driver Michael Glennon, who caught the destruction on his video camera as debris swirled through the air. 6th grader Haley Pellerin said she and other students had just started lunch when teachers quickly herded students back to their classroom in the Southwest Arlington Elementary School. We had to duck and cover for 2 hours, she said. The students were seated, lined up against a wall in their classroom, and covered their heads. The power went out, so it was dark and hot. Tuesday's tornadoes in Texas could prove more costly than a hailstorm nearly a year ago in the Dallas area that caused more than $100 million in insured losses. That April 15, 2011 storm was less damaging in terms of hail and winds. Insurers have already lost as much as $2 billion during the 2012 tornado season, mostly from a record March 2nd outbreak that follows record-breaking losses of $26 billion during the 2011 tornado season.